afternoon. My name is Alexis here, Miss South Central Texas's Outstanding Teen.
Your platform goal is for schools to require volunteer service and community service as part of the curriculum. What obstacles do you believe will need to be overcome to actually implement your platform?
You know, as a state title holder, I think that one of the biggest challenges would definitely be getting to as many schools as possible in a year reign. And that's something I'm definitely excited about if I were to be given the opportunity to be Miss Texas's Outstanding Teen. And one of the other goals of the platform is not only encouraging superintendents to require community service hours, but it's encouraging students to love community service, because that's something that's super important to me too.
What word did you miss at the spelling bee, and spell it for us?
It was altar. It was a homonym, and I was super upset, but I know how to spell it now. So the altar that I was given was an altar as in one that you pray at, instead of to change, which is what I spelled. So A-L-T-A-R is the altar that you pray at.
If you couldn't win, which one of the other girls would you want to win?
Wow, I love all my sisters so much, and it's been a real blessing getting to know everyone, but I'd have to say Caitlin Noel. She's Miss Bexar County's Outstanding Teen, and she's one of the most genuine girls I've ever met.
Should Texas abolish the death penalty?
You know, in my opinion, I think that only God has the right to give and take life.
How do you feel about the president's travel ban?
At this point, I think that our country is better off being safe than sorry, and it's important for everyone to know that the main goal is just to keep every U.S. citizen as safe as possible, because that's one of the most important things that we can do as a country.
Who's the new mayor for San Antonio?
It is Ron Nirenberg.
What do you think about him?
You know, I'm not too sure about him, and I don't think it's necessarily fair to judge someone's legacy in the short amount of time that they've already been given. Same with the president, same with any kind of leader that you're going to have, whether it's a national one or an international one. So I think that at this point that we can just see what he's going to do with his year as our mayor, with his years as our mayor. I'm sorry.
What's one mistake that could cost a girl a title?
Not being herself in her interview. I think that for me, one of the most important lessons I've learned in this journey as Miss South Central Texas's Outstanding Teen is that being yourself is the best way to go about an interview. It's the best way to go about life, really, because if you're not yourself, then, I mean, everyone else is already taken. So I think that that's definitely a mistake that people can make.
What was the most difficult part about starting your 501c3?
So Project Christ is umbrellaed under the Sear Family Foundation, which is the 501c3 aspect of it. The most difficult part was definitely rallying a ton of people to help me and get behind me in this process of creating the nonprofit that I love so much. So eventually, once my friends started to help me make the blessing bags, and it was getting out there, and it was featured on the local news one time, which was such a great honor. After that, it started speeding up and picking up the pace, which was awesome.
What social media do you use the most?
You know, I love Facebook. I just got it because I figured out that we should have a Facebook for our platform or for our local title in the pageant. So I really do love it, but I'd have to say Instagram because I've had it for the longest, and I really do like it a lot.
Often people view boxing as a violent sport. Why do you box?
I box for self-defense. My parents have always encouraged me that one thing that can give you a lot of confidence is knowing how to defend yourself in compromising situations. So I'm really glad that I do take boxing because it's also a really good workout.
Should all police wear body cameras?
I think that a great deal of them should. I think that just in case they're in situations that they're not too sure what to say, if someone's put to trial in a certain situation where someone is doing something inappropriate or unlawful, I think that it'd be beneficial for them to wear body cameras.
Did you do any research on us, the judges, prior to the pageant?
Yes, I did, and can I just say that y'all are a very impressive panel, and I'm really glad that I get to show you who I am today.
If you had to bake us anything, what would you bake for us?
Oh my gosh, probably my famous key lime pie cupcakes. I love them so much, and I made them for my mom's birthday once, and she's not a big sweet tooth, but she loved them, so that says a lot.
The minimum wage in Texas is $7.25 an hour. Do you think it should go up to $15 an hour like some people think?
I think that as long as we're rewarding the work as it should be rewarded, and if people are working their hardest, that the minimum wage should go up. However, if people are slacking off and if people are not doing their job correctly, that the minimum wage should stay the same. So I do feel that it depends on the business.
If you could meet any political leader, deceased or alive, who would it be and why?
Abraham Lincoln. I think that he is such an inspiring president, and that with the Emancipation Proclamation and everything he did as president, he's just really inspiring.
Tell
You
us
think-
something in French.
Je suis honorée d'être ici là-bas parce que je suis avoir une bonne temps.
What does that mean?
I am so honored to be here because I'm having a great time.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Chocolate or carbs or any type of carbs really, and I think that everyone can agree with me with that. I love chocolate, and I've always had a sweet tooth. So.
What is the greatest challenge facing women today?
Specifically for my generation, and I don't think that this just works for my generation, but it is happening a great deal nowadays. It's conformity. It's not being comfortable with who you are and trying to fit into the trend or what's popular nowadays. And something that I love so much about this organization is that people embrace their uniqueness and people are not afraid to be themselves.
Who's the newest Supreme Court justice?
You know, unfortunately, I'm not too sure. However, I will look that up as soon as I can, and I promise you, if you ask me next time, I will know the answer to you.
Who's the former Miss America's Outstanding Teen that you admire?
You know, being relatively new to the organization, which I really do love, the only Miss America's Outstanding Teen that I've seen in action is Nicole Gia, and I love her so much. I love her smile, and I love how she's not afraid to be herself, because that's something that's really important to me. I mean, if you couldn't tell, but I really do love her.
Do you know who Megan Miller is?
Megan Miller, just
Yes.
clarifying. You know, I have a friend named Megan Miller, but I'm not too familiar with that name.
No worries.
Respond if a boy called you hot.
I think that nowadays that is an adjective that's being too often used for young women, so I don't find it necessarily respectful. And if I were called that, I mean, I would say thank you, but can you please compliment me in some other way or form?
If you had a family commitment or a Miss Texas OST commitment, which would you pick?
I would try my best to do both. However, I know that this is a job, and I am ready for this job, and I am fully committed to the job of Miss Texas's Outstanding Teen. And so I would definitely have to go do my job, and then later on tell my family that I will come back to them as soon as I can.
Should Texas legalize the use of marijuana for medical purposes?
For recreational purposes, absolutely not, because I don't feel that any mind-altering substance is something that should be used just for fun. But for medical
Do you think alcohol should be abolished then?
You know, alcohol is already legal, and I think that if prohibition were to happen again, that it wouldn't really do too much, because people are already very comfortable with the use of alcohol. However, with medical marijuana, I think that...
Yeah, the bell has rung. We have to cut you off. Thank you so
Alright,
much.
thank you so much for this opportunity. If given the chance, I
Thank
promise to
you.
be the most... Thank you.
Take care.